All right, so you're in sales and considering switching sales jobs, or you're trying to break into sales and you don't know which sales job, which niche, which industry to go into. Well, after this video, you're going to have your answer. So here we go. The three most common are solar sales, tech sales, or high ticket sales. If you don't know who I am, my name is Garrett Campbell. I've placed over 250 sales reps into different remote sales jobs. And yeah, we're gonna be breaking this down. When I first got into sales, I personally did high ticket sales. I literally didn't have any other options. High ticket sales wasn't like this big thing to do. So that was how I made my decision, was just picking the one that I could that would pay my rent. But now that I have more context, I've spoken with literally thousands of solar sales and tech sales and high ticket sales reps. I can give you a little bit of context on how I would go about making this decision for myself. So let's get into it. We're gonna basically break this down in terms of money, in terms of location freedom, basically time freedom, and then there's genuine happiness, which is obviously important. What we're gonna do is focus on solar first. So I'm just gonna run down this column. So before I get on the whiteboard here, with solar sales and money, solar sales reps make so much damn money and it's awesome. But what I learned after talking with solar sales reps for longer was that the number that they say they make isn't always actually what they actually make. And let me explain why. If I go up and usually everyone does this through door to door. There's some remote stuff, but usually you go knock on someone's door. You're like, hey, Ivan, do you want a solar panel? And they say yes. And then it's 40 grand roughly to get the solar panel installed, which is awesome because you make 3 grand, 4 grand on their deal being closed. Problem is that then it has to get installed. There are a lot of permits that are necessary for a solar panel to get put onto an actual house, which sucks. Which means that it takes sometimes 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months to get a solar panel on the freaking house. And people don't have 40K lying around to put a solar panel on their house. The sell in solar is hey, whatever your bill is, we'll have you take out a loan for the solar panel and we'll make sure that the loan payment on the solar panel is cheaper than your energy bill. So that's why they always ask for an energy bill when they're doing their sales stuff, right? So because it's a loan, they don't actually really take it out necessarily until it gets installed. So they haven't actually bought it until they put it on the freaking house. It takes a while to get put on the freaking house. So they could cancel on that sale at any point in time throughout the 3 months, 6 months, however long it takes to actually get put on the damn house. But it's frustrating because it's you did make 4 grand on paper, but some companies will give you maybe a couple $100, and then once it gets installed, they give you the rest of it. But they could also just take that commission back whenever they want. And that's kind of the risk associated with it. For payout cycles, happens, I don't know. I'm sure it depends company to company, once a month, once every 2 weeks, every week. I know solar reps make a lot of money. It's a little bit risky because of what I just mentioned. There's no base pay, so it's all commission. And lastly, it's seasonal. So if you're in the States, I'm from America, so I'm assuming I'm more talking about Americans here. I don't know how solar works in other countries. If you're in the South, you're good. Texas, Cali, Arizona, stuff like that. Maybe Florida, you're fine. If you're up north or just in the Midwest, kind of mid-tier, it gets cold, obviously. So 8 months out of the year, you, my friend, are unemployed. So you could make 100K in the summer, 25K, 50K in the summer, but then you have to stretch that over the next 8 months of the year, which is challenging. So for that reason, we're gonna do this on a scale of 1 to 4. I'm gonna give this a 3. The money's good in solar, there's those 2 big risks. Now let's talk kind of location freedom, basically. So for solar, you're basically door to door. 90% of the time you're door to door, which is you're obviously stuck to one location, which kind of sucks. And most solar reps that want to leave solar, it's because they're I literally have to live in this town and I can't go anywhere else unless I switch a whole damn company, and they don't want to do that. So that sucks. You literally have no location freedom. You can't go remote. You don't really have an office. So usually what I see is you'll just get sales manager or whatever, literally drop you off in a neighborhood and be go make money. So I'll pick you up at 5. Which we'll get into the time freedom stuff here in a second. But that's what you get generally. And before the solar reps start attacking me in the comments, you can do this remotely, right? But the only people that make money in remote solar sales are the digital marketing agencies that sell solar leads. Because what happens is prime example, there's this one potential client that we were talking to, and he was making 10K a month in solar sale. Great. And you see me smiling. And I'm got it. And 10K a month, but is that hitting your bank account, or is that projected if the solar panel gets installed? He's no, 10K a month. I'm cool. Are you paying for your leads, or is your company paying for the leads? He's well, I do pay for my own leads. I'm how much do you pay every month to get the leads? $6,000 a month. Okay, so you're making $4,000 a month. I'm are the leads actually good? Could you just close more of the leads? Why? Well, that's the thing is this lead will get sold to 5 other people, 10 other people, and they're just getting blitzed with cold calls all fucking day. And they're cold calls. They're not warm leads. They don't know my company in specific. So that's kind of frustrating. So it's like, you can go remote, but you're gonna sell the leads that are what I call stepped on, as in other people are gonna be selling to those leads too. And you're basically like this number that's just on a cold caller list, and everyone's drilling you with cold calls. So the people that make the most money aren't remote. They are in person doing door-to-door stuff, and you just don't have any freaking location freedom if you're stuck to one place. So for me personally, I'm giving this a 1 out of 4, not too hot. Now, let's talk time freedom here. You're in solar, more times than not, you're what's called a 1099 independent contractor, which means you're an independent contractor. So you're not like an actual employee. So they can't technically tell you what the fuck to do, which is cool. So you kind of have time freedom. Caveat to that is, if you want to make a lot of money in sales, you're gonna work. Like there's a direct correlation between how much money you make and how much you work. If you work less, you make less. That's kind of just how it goes. That's kind of the trade-off here. So it's like, you can work weekends, you can work a lot, you can work not that much. You do kind of have time freedom, but I also know stories of people like I just mentioned earlier. Literally, the team gets in a car at 8 a.m. and they drop you off. And it's like, I'll pick you up at this time. Like, don't come back without some deals closed, right? So through most scenarios, like, you're kind of good. So I'd give it a 3. As far as that goes, not bad. Here, we're talking happiness, right? That's important. So this is very, very subjective. As far as the culture of the company and the coworkers, that's dependent upon the company. So like, and when I say culture, I don't want to get all fucking like woo-woo here. I just mean like, is this like a go, like ran like a football team type company? Or is this like, we care about your feelings, like how you doing? You know, like don't work too much, don't overwork yourself, champ, like shit like that. It's dependent upon who you are as a person. So this is very fucking subjective. The two that are a little bit more in your control is like, are you learning? That's important because you might not be balling out financially, but if you're learning stuff from the sales manager or different sales reps at the company and your sales skill is growing and you're just learning how business works, that's fucking awesome. So as far as this and this and this goes, very subjective. What I can talk about here is the product, which is like a solar panel. So with solar, it's awesome if you care about the environment, just for like the money part of this. The government is backing solar and like green energy stuff because Biden and what, I don't fucking care who you voted for. But yeah, like there are benefits to solar and like that is kind of the wave. And it's like, kind of like if there's a gold rush, like sell shovels, like it's kind of one of those scenarios where solar is like hot right now. Caveat to that is because it's hot right now, there's a lot of money hungry motherfuckers that don't care about solar, that are unethical. And that's usually why when we talk about the money part, I know so many solar sales reps who have not got their commissions paid out, who have been lied to, who said they're gonna make more money. Like one of our clients, actually, he used to do solar and then he broke into the high ticket space. And he told me that he was supposed to make 12K on a deal that he closed, but then the guy bought a Tesla afterwards, where you need like one of those Tesla chargers. And it's a policy at the company apparently, where if something is included in the, is not included, but you already sold them, and then they do an add-on afterwards and you didn't account for that, they will take that out of your commissions. So it was like $9,000 or $8,000 or something like that to get the Tesla charger in the garage installed. So instead of making 12K, I only made 3K. They basically stole $9,000 from him, which is fucking crazy. So there's that. Another big thing with a product is it's like your solar panel and Sunrun solar panel or insert any other solar company is no different. It's literally all the same shit. So that's the problem, is it's like someone buying your solar panel versus someone else, really not all that different. So it's really just comes down to like how great of a sales rep you are. For me personally, if I'm knocking doors all day, every day, and I'm out in the sun, I'm adjusted by weather, I can only make money like 4 months out of the year, I probably wouldn't personally be all that happy. So I'm gonna give this just kind of like a neutral, like a 2 here. That's kind of how I feel about things. And keep in mind, we're done with solar now, so I'll total this out in a bit after I go through tech, after I go through high ticket. So let's talk tech sales. As far as tech sales go, so this is the biggest difference between solar, high ticket, and tech is this piece here. So in general, you have a base pay, you have benefits, and that's great, but it's kind of like, think of it this way. Hopefully my editors can help me here. You're gonna have like a floor as to how much money you can make. So it's like, you don't sell a single deal and you make no progress in the company at all, you'll still make 3K a month. Like you'll have a floor, right? Whereas in solar, you don't close any deals, you make $0. High ticket, you don't close any deals, you make $0. That's the risk associated with it. For here, your downside is protected. And because of that, your upside is limited. So anytime you don't understand your comp structure, it is designed to pay you less money. I want to repeat that like 12 more times. If you don't understand your comp structure, or it is confusing, I want to say comp structure, it's like the way you get paid and how it all works. If it's confusing, is designed to pay you less money. Like a high ticket, 10%, 15% commission, that's it. That's all the levels of confusion that there is. When you talk to tech people, they're like,
well, it depends upon, projection attainment. And if we're at an 80%, then we get this. But then if we're at 100, we get this. But then if this one thing happens with the company, then we get this.
It's like a lot of fugazi, confusing shit. So I'm going to speak upon myself. I've never had a base pay. I will never want a base pay because base pays are designed to give you more safety and pay you less money. And if you're comfortable with that, like, cool. But I'm good at sales. I can fucking sell. So I really don't care for this. So I'm gonna give it a 2 because if you're like a newfound father, or you are just a person that's not entrepreneurial and you like safety, you like comfort, you like the benefits, you like the base pay, go crazy. Like that is for you. That just for me, I don't want a ceiling on my money because I know I'll work hard and I'll make a lot of fucking money. So I don't like ceilings on my income. So for that reason, that's why I give it a 2. When it comes to here, most tech sales jobs, you're gonna have some level of being in the office. And not to get political, but usually in the world of tech, they're a little bit liberal, a little bit blue. So when you talk about the COVID, when you talk about the fucking Biden, you talk about fucking January 6th, you have to lean towards one side, kind of like college. And if you, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. You got to be careful about what you say. You got to fucking tiptoe around the office and not break any eggshells. And like, to me, fuck that. I've talked with so many tech salespeople that make like 10K a month, 15K a month. And they're like, dude, if Cheryl talks to me one more time about this fucking blue-haired they, them shit, I'm out, right? So do with that what you will. And that kind of gets into the happiness stuff. But from here, you will pretty much be in office or hybrid in some capacity. When it comes to, hey, I want to go on vacation, well, you're going to have to fill out your out of office form. Might get accepted, might get denied. I'm a man. I don't want to be told where I can and cannot go. That would drive me nuts. I'm going to give this a 1, if you can't tell, because fuck that. Grown man, no one's gonna tell me what to do. When it comes to time freedom, kind of the same shit. And again, caveat, some people get to go a little bit remote. I think as you kind of get better, it's kind of like this cherry on top. There's a big, and this is just corporate in general, tech sales is very corporate. So it's very politically correct, it's very structured, it's very organized, 9 to 5, salary, benefits. If that's what you're into, go crazy. It's not my cup of tea. But like I said, some of them are remote, but they have a tendency to kind of like dangle the carrot. And when I say dangle the carrot, it's like, we'll get this promotion in a year or 2 years. So it's like, you kind of have to work up this corporate ladder and like kind of like suck dick to like get your way up. And I don't like that. In solar, in high ticket, if you could sell, you'll make more money. You don't have to go up this whole like kind of corporate hierarchy really, which is cool. As far as time freedom, to make some progress in this video. Yeah, like you are 9 to 5. That is it. Like you are 9 to 5. You have to ask for time off. You usually don't work weekends. Sometimes you work weekends. It's not that flexible. That is what it is. These are the type of people that have to like, like touch their keyboard to like, so that way they're like still moving and still active and like, no, not for me. I'm gonna give that a 1. As far as happiness goes, again, as you could tell, this is not my cup of tea. I just could not do tech sales. It would drive me fucking crazy. But if you are techie and that's what you're into, like you genuinely are like passionate about like cloud computing software or like an HR software or like a sales enablement tool or like a lead gen, I don't know, like a data scraping or something like that, like go crazy. Like if you are actually passionate about tech and you like stability, you like safety, you like the in-office kind of, talk at the water cooler type shit, dude, tech sales is your path. I'm not gonna be biased here, but just in my opinion, not for me. If you're learning stuff, I think with this, you're so far from the actual founder, you're not really going to learn as much stuff because it's usually a bigger company. Like a lot of these companies, the tech companies, they get VC money. And the risk with VC money is they'll go get this idea for a tech company. They'll raise 10 million bucks, 20 million bucks, 30 million bucks. They'll hire a bunch of salespeople. Keep in mind, tech sales, you were talking to very cold leads. Like they don't necessarily do marketing. Their marketing budget is hiring SDRs, hiring appointment setters to go cold call leads, go do prospecting and all that shit, nonsense. So that's that. If you like tech, cool. The culture is not my cup of tea. You're probably not gonna learn a boatload, unless you have a great sales manager, which is very possible. So again, that's very dependent on things. As far as coworkers go, you know how I feel. So I'm gonna give it a 1. I just know so many people that are just not passionate about like, again, like an HR software or like a tracker on how well our employees are doing, or like if they're at risk to where they might leave, it'll spot if they might leave the company before they actually quit, so we can spot it and have meetings with them. Like if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. Yeah, man, I was rude to tech sales. I almost want to give them a 3 for money, because I do know some tech sales guys. So like, here's the thing with money. I'll explain it a little bit more, and then we'll get into high ticket. With that, you're usually like a BDR, so business development representative. That's code for like cold caller, big prospector. Then you move up from there, like a junior BDR to like a senior BDR. Then you go to like an SDR. An SDR is like a little beefed up BDR, basically. Like it's like just a higher tier of an appointment center, basically. Then you can move up to an AE, which is just a closer, an account executive. That's where you're actually closing deals, which is cool. You still have to do your prospecting. And then you go from like that to like, you can go to like enterprise AE. Enterprise AE, that's like big dogs. Like I do know enterprise AEs make a lot of fucking money, like they make 20K a month, 30K a month. The problem with that is that you have to go through the corporate ladder of junior BDR, senior BDR, junior SDR, blah, 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 blah. You fucking go that way. And then you go to an AE, and then you're like SMB, like small businesses AE, and like mid-market AE, and then enterprise AE. And then you make a lot of money. So I'll be nice. Sorry, fellas, fucking tech sales guys. I'll give it 3. All right. I'm trying to be nice to these tech sales guys, but they're fucking dorks. Oh shit, I'm recording. All right, on to high ticket sales. All right, so high ticket, again, I'm gonna do my best to be unbiased and just give you like a raw, unfiltered. I've been doing this for like 5 years and then running my company for a little bit more than that. We're talking money here, okay? So in high ticket, you are commission based only. You're a 1099 independent contractor. Usually you get 10 to 15% commission on services that are anywhere from like 5 to like 20K. There's some more high ticket stuff like 40K, 50K, 100K, but generally speaking, like 5K to 20K is kind of like your sweet spot. You're taking 4 to like 8 warm inbound calls on your calendar every single day, and emphasis on like warm and like inbound. So because the leads are so warm and they're inbound, it's not uncommon to have like 40, 50, 60% close rates, which is awesome. And so it's more of like a make $500, $1,000 on every call, and just play the volume game of cranking out base hits. It's like tech sales is like, you have this like 500K deal that you close, but it might take 3 months to close. Whereas this is like, yo, they saw an ad yesterday, you're on the phone with you now, boom, they give you 10K, you make $1,000, get on to your next call, make another $1,000, whatever. Like, it's more of like we're hitting singles and doubles. And this is like, we either hit a grand slam or we strike out. And it's like, and this is solar, kind of the same thing. So this is like, you almost get like risk taken away, because it's like, I'd rather make $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $500 every day, instead of like maybe making 4K one week, making $0 the next week, and then 8K the next week. In this, it's like you just make the same amount of money every time, because okay, that's basically that. So high ticket, you don't have a base pay. Usually you're every 2 weeks, like the 1st and 15th of every month. So I've always been paid. High ticket sales reps have no ceiling on their income. They also have no floor on their income. So do with that what you will. Like if you can't sell, there's risk in that. That's why I said high ticket sales isn't for everyone. But for me in particular, because I'm a hard worker, because I can bet on myself and know that I will perform, I don't want a ceiling on my income, and I can make as much money as I want, I'm gonna give that a 4. As far as this goes, I mean, dude, I just put my 4 now. I'm trying not to be biased here, but like seriously, like you're remote, you can work from anywhere. I've taken sales calls in Greece, I've taken sales calls in London, I've taken sales calls in Mexico, I've taken sales calls all over the fucking US. All of my clients, the second they start making some money, especially you guys in like Ireland and England, you guys move out immediately because there's no sunshine in those 2 countries. They always go to like Spain, Mexico, Colombia, stuff like that. So you can literally work from anywhere as long as the time zone's kind of similar, like go crazy. So that's awesome. I'm trying to find something bad about this. You're remote, location freedom. As far as like taking time off, dude, shoot the business owner a text like a week before and be like, yo, I'm gonna be out of office. And I'm like, cool. We'll give more sales calls to the other sales guy. Like, have fun. Like my sales reps take time off all the time. Like my sales rep is going to Colorado. He's going skiing with his family and his kids and his wife. I'm like, have fun, go crazy. Yeah. As far as this goes, super flexible. So from a time freedom perspective, this is cool because since you're a 1099 independent contractor, you could adjust your calendar. So it's like, if you are an early riser and you want to crank out calls, take calls in the morning. Like open up your calendar from 8 a.m. and stop it at 3 p.m. if you want to. Or if you're like, fuck mornings, bro, I'm not trying to do all that. Open up your calendar from like 10:30, 11 a.m. to like 7 p.m. or 5 p.m. 3 p.m., whatever. And then you can make those adjustments. And like, if you're trying to make a shit ton of money, open it up 12 hours a day, 7 days a week if you want. If you want to do weekends, you don't want to do weekends, do it or don't do it. You have a lot of flexibility when it comes to the calendar. And like, obviously caveat to that is like, the more calls you take, the more money you make. So if you only want to work 3-4 hours a day and you want to travel and all that shit, you could do it. You're just going to make less money. Similar to solar in that instance, this is like there's a direct proportion between how much you work and how much money you make. With tech, they're a little bit better about that. So they do have paid time off. Usually, depends on the company, but you have paid time off. You have a salary. So if you stop working, you do get paid. I think. So that's a point for tech. I'll give them a little gold star. That's that. We'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3 because there's time and money have kind of like a direct correlation. So it's like, this isn't like a passive income, which you guys know that's bullshit. But anywho, when it comes to happiness, we have sales teams who are literally like, hey, like, we're going to send you like a Tony Robbins seminar and like, we're going to help you with your mindset. We're going to help you level up. We're going to help you learn business shit. And it's because like you're learning like crazy. Like a lot of these companies have like 5, 10, 15, 20 employees, 30 employees, like max, which is cool because you're so close to the founder. Like I literally manage my own sales team. We have like 3 setters, we have 3 closers, and they're talking to me all day, every day. Like a lot of these guys and gals want to like run their own businesses. So I'll like teach them a little bit of marketing stuff. I'm like, hey dude, like look at my ad account. Like look how this stuff works. Because I know that's their end goal. So like I'll teach them a bunch of shit. So if you want to start your business down the road, you have such close proximity to the founder where you're learning so much stuff about business because it's like a smaller, and you can learn all the ins and outs about everything operates and stack a shit ton of cash, and then go build your business in the future if that's what you want to do. So if you're a little bit more entrepreneurial, that's cool. As far as products go, it's so vast. Like it's crazy. And a lot of people ask when high ticket sales gets brought up, like, what can you sell? Like fucking anything. Like if you're passionate about fitness, there's like online fitness coaching. If you are like, I'm more of a blue collar type of guy, like sell marketing to like pool builders and hardscapers or roofing companies or like construction companies. Like if you're more like super passionate about like finance and the stock market and shit like that, there's like, you could provide capital and loans and stuff like that, credit to businesses. If you're more B2C and have like a stock trading coaching type offer, right? Or like how to build your credit type offer, like a personal finance offer, like a Dave Ramsey type thing. There's this guy Budgie Dog we play sales reps for. He does $600K a month. His closers there make 18, 20K, 15K a month. We play sales reps for him. Like they crush, and they're talking about personal finance, which is really cool. Whatever you want to sell, you could sell, which is cool. So there's a niche for literally everything. It's crazy. There's one business we play sales reps for. You have $400K a month and they sell a self-tanning certification. So for girls that want to like have like a side hustle type thing, we'll help you start a self-tanning business, which is like, it's so funny. They print money. So there's that. Are you learning? Do you like your coworkers? Do you like the product? Do you like the culture? Try not to be biased for real, but like 4. So that's basically that. So let's tally everything up. A little drum roll here. All right, so we got 3, 3, 3 basically. So we'll give this a 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, give it a 6, and 12, 15. Cool. So yeah, if high ticket sales just blew up and didn't exist anymore, I would do solar. I don't think there's a world where I would do tech sales. That's it. That's the totals. That's how the math works out. Shameless plug here. If you guys are brand new, you have no sales experience, you go to Remote Closer Accelerator. We have a bunch of thorough sales training, $247 a month. You get access to all that. We'll also help you land your own offer that you would want to land in the high ticket space. If you have sales experience, you can go to closinglevel.com and we will train you up super hands-on, a lot more hands-on of a process than RCA. And we'll give you guaranteed placement into high ticket vetted offers where you make a bunch of money. Our average client makes $12K a month. Our top 10% of clients make $22K a month. Bottom 10% of clients make $6K a month. So that's that. If you want that, go to the link in the description. Again, those are the compare and contrast of everything. Again, if you want security, if you like having benefits, you like the base pay, you like kind of office culture, tech sales is your path. If you're like a college kid, you have no sales experience, dude, you can go into solar, make 5K, 10K, 15K a month, work in summers while you're in college. Like that's a great path for you. But if you have some sales experience and you like confident in your sales ability, high ticket all the way. That's what I would do if I were you. So subscribe in this video and also comment below what you guys think. If there's any other sales industries like car sales, insurance sales, pest control sales, you would like me to cover as well. And yeah, maybe I'll make another one just like this if you like it.